Thank you. So it's great to talk to you. I saw that your film at Telluride. Was that the first time that you had seen it at the Telluride Film Festival when it premiered?
Second time. Second
Second
time for
time.
me. So got a nice little private screening earlier.
Excellent. So what was it like the first time you saw
Woo.
it?
I I saw it in a screening room completely alone, and I think I'm grateful for that, being alone in that first experience, because afterwards, yeah, I felt like I didn't want to talk to anyone. Like not like I just wanted to like process it all. Like it just sunk into my body. Like we all keep like touching our stomach when we talk about it. Like it just settled in there. And I just wanted to kind of let it process, and I didn't want to be questioned, and I just wanted to sit for a little while. And I felt like so kind of drained and very vulnerable after the first time I saw it. And and then as like the days kind of went on, it kind of like started to settle in, and like that feeling started to shift, and I started to feel like how special it was, this, and like how, yeah, like that, I don't know, that pride and joy kept kind of growing as the days went on.
What was your
Yeah.
experience like, Ethan?
I watched it with both my parents, and Hamish was there as well with his daughter. But we were very like, kind of separate. It was in between my mom's birthday and Father's Day, so I was like, "Hey guys, here's your gift here's the gift for both of you." And so it was, yeah. While watching it, um, I was completely absorbed and fully just transported into this world that RaMell created. And by the time I had reached the end and the credits started to roll, I started crying because I started. That's when I realized, like, oh, we did this. Like I saw my name, I saw Brandon's name, I saw Anjanu's name, and I was like, oh my, that was us. And so it after that took some time because it definitely had to sit, and there was a lot to process. And later on that day, it all kind of it all kind of came to me like, oh, it was the feelings of pride and joy that we had done this.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's such a tremendous film. I can't imagine not only the experience in making it and creating it, but then in witnessing it for the first time and sort of absorbing it and seeing what you guys have done. One of the things I think is most important about this film is the camaraderie and the chemistry between the two of you as friends here at this Nickel Academy. How did you build that relationship between the two of you, not knowing each other before you started filming?
Um, we just spent time with each other. I mean, starting from the chemistry, Brandon had this, openness about him and this very welcoming energy. And that kind of carried over into when we started filming. Um, and then that first week we lost the first week of shooting due to COVID. And so Brandon and I just had a week to like hang out and just like just be two people just hanging out in in New Orleans, and it kind of lots of Waffle House.
Yeah,
You
we
know,
didn't go to Waffle House because we were definitely quarantining like we were supposed to and not going outside.
but we were able to just outside of working together, we watched movies, we got food together, we just were able to get to know each other better as people, and yeah.
Nice. So I assume that Brandon, that then helped you, embody these characters and embody those difficult scenes together.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I think that's the most helpful part when you're with people that you can comfortably explore with and feel like you're in a safe space to be vulnerable and just be completely present. It makes all the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're on this journey with RaMell, who is most notable for previously having directed documentaries, and this is his first narrative feature. What was it like working through that with him together?
We're both enjoying this. He is really, really just a joy to work with. I've been so thankful to be able to kind of do this alongside RaMell and Brandon because we had so much fun. Despite the how heavy, this movie is, there was so much joy on that set, and that started with RaMell. He is someone that brought such an incredible energy to set every day. He put so much trust in everyone that he worked with, from the actors to the producers and the crew. And you could feel that energy, just throughout the set. So yeah, he just created this really amazing environment to work in.
So he obviously chose to film this in a first person narrative. Did that, Brandon, did that present any challenges in terms of how you were going to present the character, knowing that this was, completely first person perspective?
All right, John here. It didn't present any challenges in terms of how to present the character. It was the challenge was that was presented was how to remain present with the people that this siren is going
It was
crazy.
like, yeah, persistent, man.
Um, yeah, so it didn't feel like a challenge in how to present to play with the character and explore Turner, but yeah, how to remain present and how to, I'm using the wording, like imbue life into the lens while you're like staring down the lens and
Right.
having to give it this, yeah, this feeling that you're still talking to this person that you're so connected with. So yeah, I mean, that challenge was overcome by us being able to have that space to explore the scenes together, to be able to sit with one another and feel what, yeah, kind of the movement, the rhythm of the scene, what the other person's, how they're saying their lines, how their face is changing, how they're reacting to your lines, and it's totally informs like, oh, you recognize that they heard something that you weren't necessarily realizing that you were saying, and then all this stuff you can then bring and then stare down the lens, and yeah, and then it kind of works on its own because you've built up all this stuff. Now you can kind of like lean into that, knowing that. And also, we're remaining present the whole time. So he's still there, very, very much giving everything with his lines and the conversation present. So it's, yeah, that was more the challenge.
Yeah. Just delivering it, staring down into the camera.
Yeah.
Um, what were some of the most challenging scenes for you to film, Ethan?
Oh wow. I'll say um the first one was the White House scene. That one was pretty, even though that's in Elwood's POV, the the White House was was built by the production designer Nora Mendez, who does incredible work on this movie. And that room was so it just had this energy that really kind of brought you where you needed to be for the scene. And it was all the performances in that scene were just, I mean, Hamish was truly terrifying. And so even though you never kind of see my face, I was really affected by, everything that we were doing, and I was very present. And it was, yeah, that one was a really difficult one to do. And then another difficult one was the scene at the picnic table where Hattie visits Elwood for the first time. And that was difficult because it was just so heartbreaking. Anjanu's performance um, in this movie as a whole is unbelievable, but that scene in particular is just so devastating. And to be able to kind of be there with her and watch her work through that scene, it was, as an actor, it was like, oh my gosh, this is kind of a masterclass. When we were in there and really present, I was deeply moved, and I was devastated, and I was just, I mean, it was, yeah, those were the two hardest, I'd say.
Yeah, and it's interesting too because you guys are on the start of your career. Ingenue is in the middle of her career, has so many tremendous performances. What did you take away from working with her? What did you learn from her?
Oof, man, she has so much power. It's I mean, as Ethan was just saying, like at the picnic table, we're not on. I mean, neither of us are on camera when we're doing scenes with her, but you're still so pulled into it, whether you want to be or not. It's like it's such a magnetism that's
Mhm.
yeah, so it's something to witness.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of learning from her specifically, I don't know. There's just so many people, so many like amazing actors around to just get to. The biggest thing was just the recognition and remembering like, oh, everyone's kind of doing this thing their own way and we're all exploring it. And I might not be doing it that way, but she has such a power and a presence that I can recognize like, oh, okay, yeah, oh yeah, there's tons of ways that we can do this and still find where that's coming from in our body and how that's gonna work. So it's just that uh reminder and boost of like letting go and just playing how it works for you. That's what I learned from her. Yeah, seeing that she was taking a completely different approach than I was or how I was viewing Ethan, it was that. I learned that.
Yeah.
You have your own approach and you go with it completely.
Um, so the film premiered at Telluride, as I said. Sorry, I'm sorry, Ethan. Did you want to add to that?
Oh, I mean, I could. It wasn't. Yeah, it's more of like an admiration for her work and seeing it in person because you can, while working with her and being involved in those scenes with her, and you feel her presence. I think she has a way of if you are, you know, if you're not present in a scene, you're going to be. It's
Right.
not going to take very long to be
Just pulled
drawn
in.
into. Yeah,
Mhm.
she's so giving in that way. I think her presence allows it's just it kind of elevates whoever she's in a scene with. And so maybe in terms of learning, I think yeah, it's how to be a more giving actor through that presence.
And she did now that you're saying that, the physical
Physical
contact
touch, yeah,
thing,
yeah.
she's, I mean, her power pulls you in, but also she was looking for ways to go beyond this staring down the lens thing. And she would invite you to like put your arm out so she could have that physical contact. And that very much
Right.
pulled you in and also gave her a point to, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So there's that. Yeah. There's a lot to learn. It's like you don't look at it all while you're doing it. And like,
Right.
you're just kind of soaking it all up. So yeah, as you're asking questions, I get to like go
So
back and be like, oh yeah, and she, oh yeah, and that,
Yeah.
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's just a very natural lived in experience.
mhm.
So as I mentioned before, I saw this for the first time at Telluride. You know, you guys were at Telluride. You were at the New York Film Festival last Friday where it premiered there. Um, what has this experience been like for you so far? Just traveling with this film and seeing all of these, you know, getting all of this buzz and meeting all of these people. Like this is what is that like as new actors?
We shot this movie at the end of 2022.
Mm.
So to be here almost like 2 years after starting, I'm just so happy to finally at the be at the point, especially after watching it for that first time a few months ago. I was like, man, all I want to do is share this with as many people as possible. So now that we're at that point and we're experiencing it, yeah, we get to travel together and have a good time. It's all very, it's so surreal. And we've just been trying to stay present and grateful. And it's been amazing to be able to talk about different people's experience with the film because everyone's had a different kind of experience and taken something different, taken something different away from it.
Sure.
And I feel like as I talk to people, I'm learning things, and it's really it's really elevated an already incredible experience.
Yeah. What about for you, Brandon?
Yeah, I was happy to be able to spend time with everybody again and meet, yeah, all these new people and the lovely teams with we got MGM and everybody out here. Yeah, we got it's good people.
Good people, good people.
Yeah, yeah, it's just been, and also, yeah, everyone's just been so genuine and warm and saying compliments.
Yeah. Well, I think
Yeah.
this film touches people in many ways. So
Yeah.
they're grateful and they're joyful and they want to share the experience with you guys. Well,
Yeah.
that's everything I have for you. Thank you so much for the time and congratulations on the work and on this film and best of luck to you in this crazy season ahead.
Thank you, Clarence. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Take care.
You too.